welcome to my channel. My name is Kelsey, and today we're going to talk about developing a style guide for your brand, for your own client, whoever it is. If you have a business or personal brand, you need a style guide. And this is the fifth and final step in my 5-step brand process. And throughout that process, I walked you through how to develop mood boards, how to develop logo and brand families, how to choose color and type, and how to create supporting elements. And then this is the last one where we bring it all together. So style guides are extremely important in having one spot for what the brand is and what it looks like and where it lives. And it's really great to look at. So this can either be digital, which usually that's how it's created and then usually kept that way, or you can print them out. That's not as common, obviously, because it's not necessarily to have a brand book to live by, to print out and have it on your table at all times, but usually bigger brands do that. But if you are more digital based, then having it digital is perfectly fine too. So this brand guide is really important because it's what you live by again. So if you create anything, you're always referring back to this. It's how you have one cohesive look, and again, having one look is so important because people notice, your audience will notice, and it's just a great way to be like, if someone sees something of yours, it belongs to your brand. I like to include basically everything into my style guide that I've created, I've made, but the basics you really need to include and start with is the colors. Of course, you need to include the different aspects of this, like RGB, you need the hex colors, you need CMYK, because you don't know how the client is going to use this. And then you also want to include the type, the different type choices. You want to include your mood boards that you have finalized. You want to include your different supporting elements that you've created for your client. So I include the YouTube banners, the thumbnails, the different digital elements that are included in a brand book. And then I also am including anything beyond that might be helpful. So sometimes I'll include like do's and don'ts for the client. I'll include links. So for one client, we developed a style that she could take and use in Canva just so she could edit the type, since she didn't have her own Adobe Illustrator programs. But again, we wanted a more customized template. She didn't want to just be using a Canva template. We wanted an actual customized style to herself. So that was where I could include the link to the templates I created, customized for her. And then we have the really final look of the whole style guide and a thank you page, and that's really all that it is. This can range to about 10 to 15 pages, I would say. That's usually where mine fall into. I also am creating this in the client style, so it has their brand look, how the whole like individual style book is looking is all based on them, and so we have a cohesive look there too. I like to lay this out in Adobe Illustrator or in InDesign, whichever you prefer. I find that I usually do Adobe Illustrator just because it's easy to work along the way in doing this. So when I have a client and we have a step finalized, I like to put it into their style guide. So first of all, we have it started and we have that look going, so I'm not looking later where these files are. And thinking about, oh, what was the final again? And so I can refer back to it. So I like to put the mood board in there right away. So then when I'm developing the logo and brand mark families, I am looking at that mood board and I'm thinking, okay, how is this gonna look? How is this gonna translate into the logo and brand marks? So that's really how I do it. And it's also just great to be working along the way and having it develop as you go. As it goes for sizing for the brand book, it's really just up to your own preference. I usually just do a standard Google slide or just a deck standard size ratio to use. And then I create it in RGB because I don't usually print mine. And it's good to go with setting it up. So that's all I have really to share on that. But for prepping the files, I also like to include, of course, all the different logos and how they look. So that's in RGB and then CMYK. And sometimes the individual already knows where the logos are going to be used, so I can fit it for them. So like if they're going to be putting it on their Instagram as their Instagram profile picture, then I can size it so it can appropriately look in that aspect. And then I pass those off to them too, and they're good to go. And then the only other thing would be passing along fonts. And so these can be a bit sensitive because they are obviously licensed in different ways. So sometimes I can pass along the font, sometimes I just have to direct them to where they can download the font or purchase the font. And it really just depends on what font we've decided on. Okay, and then that's it. So your client is ready to go. You're ready to let them out into the world and to use this beautiful new branding that they have. And it's really exciting to see how your client is using them and see it really come to life again. I have seen clients use these in a whole variety of aspects, and it's always fun to see. So I hope this helped. Please subscribe, like this if you liked this video, of course, and comment below if you have any other questions about this, if you want to see more of an in-depth process on any of these, or if you have any questions. And always feel free to DM me on Instagram too, because I'm always happy to help. Okay, thanks for watching.